English Grammar in Years. Raymond Murphy.
Unit 83. A friend of mine. My own house. On my own. By myself. A friend of mine, a friend of yours, etc. We say, a friend of mine, a friend of yours, a friend of his, a friend of hers, a friend of ours, a friend of theirs. A friend of mine equals one of my friends.
I'm going to a wedding on Saturday. A friend of mine is getting married.
We went on holiday with some friends of ours.
Harry had an argument with a neighbor of his.
It was a good idea of yours to go to the cinema.
In the same way, we say, a friend of my sister's, a friend of Tom's, etc.
That woman over there is a friend of my sister's. Equals one of my sister's friends.
It was a good idea of Tom's to go to the cinema.
B. My own, your own, etc. We say, my own, your own, her own, etc. My own house. Your own car. Her own room. My own, your own, etc. equals something that is only mine, yours, not shared or borrowed.
I don't want to share a room with anybody. I want my own room.
Vicky and Gary would like to have their own house.
It's a shame that the apartment hasn't got its own parking space.
It's my own fault that I have no money. I buy too many things I don't need.
Why do you want to borrow my car? Why don't you use your own? Equals your own car.
You can also say, a room of my own, a house of your own, problems of his own, etc.
I'd like to have a room of my own.
He won't be able to help you with your problems. He has too many problems of his own.
C. He cuts his own hair. We also use own to say that we do something ourselves, instead of somebody else doing it for us. For example,
Paul usually cuts his own hair. Equals, he cuts it himself.
I'd like to have a garden, so that I could grow my own vegetables. Equals, grow them myself, instead of buying them from shops.
D. On my own, by myself. On my own, and by myself, both mean alone. So you can say, on my own, on your own, on his own, on her own, on its own, on our own, on their own, or by myself, by yourself, singular, By himself. By herself. By itself. By ourselves. By yourselves, plural. By themselves.
I like living on my own. Or, I like living by myself.
Some people prefer to live on their own. Or, some people prefer to live by themselves.
Jack was sitting on his own in a corner of the cafe. Or, Jack was sitting by himself in a corner of the cafe.
Did you go on holiday on your own? Or, did you go on holiday by yourself?
Myself, yourself, themselves, etc. Unit 82. Exercises, 83.1. Change the underlined words, and use the structure of mine, of yours, etc.
I'm meeting one of my friends tonight. I'm meeting a friend of mine tonight.
We met one of your relatives. We met a relative of yours.
Jason borrowed one of my books. Jason borrowed a book of mine.
I met Lisa and some of her friends. I met Lisa and some friends of hers.
We had dinner with one of our neighbors. We had dinner with a neighbor of ours.
I went on holiday with two of my friends. I went on holiday with two friends of mine.
I met one of Amy's friends at the party. I met a friend of Amy's at the party.
It's always been one of my ambitions to travel round the world. It's always been an ambition of mine to travel round the world.
(83.2). Complete the sentences, using my own, our own, etc., plus the following: bathroom, business, opinions, private beach, words.
I share a kitchen, but I have my own bathroom.
I met one of Amy's friends at the party. I met a friend of Amy's at the party.
Julia doesn't want to work for other people. She wants to start her own business.
In the test we had to read a story, and then write it in our own words.
We stayed at a luxury hotel by the sea. The hotel had its own private beach.
(83.3). Complete the sentences, using my own, your own, etc.
Why do you need to borrow my car? Why don't you use your own car?
How can you blame me? It's not my fault. It's your own fault.
She's always using my ideas. Why can't she use her own ideas?
Please don't worry about my problems. I'm sure you have your own problems.
I can't make his decisions for him. He has to make his own decisions.
(83.4). Complete the sentences, using my own, your own, etc.
Paul never goes to a barber. He cuts his own hair.
Helen doesn't often buy clothes. She likes to make her own.
I'm not going to clean your shoes. You can clean your own.
We don't often buy bread. We usually bake our own.
Jack and Joe are singers. They sing songs written by other people, but they also write their own.
(83.5). Complete the sentences, using my own, your own, etc. or myself, yourself, etc.
Did you go on holiday on your own?
The box was too heavy for me to lift by myself.
We had no help decorating the apartment. We did it completely on our own.
Very young children should not go swimming by themselves.
Who was Tom with when you saw him?
Nobody. He was by himself.
I don't like strawberries with cream. I like them on their own.
Do you like working with other people, or do you prefer working by yourself?
I went out with Sally, because she didn't want to go out on her own.
(83.5). Are these sentences okay? Correct them where necessary. Catherine would like to have her own house.
Sam and Chris are colleagues of mine.
I was scared. I didn't want to go out on my own.
In my last job I had my own office.
He must be lonely. He's always by himself.
My parents have gone away with some friends of theirs.
Are there any countries that produce all their own food?